So welcome to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2024, showcasing the best of British cheese. Today we're going to be judging fresh cheese, which is category E3. And my name is Vicky Budgerton, and I'll be moderating this session with Perry Wakeman, Hero Hirsch. So let Hero to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, I'm Hero Hirsch. I have been judging this Cheese Awards for 3 years now, having spent 15 years at Paxton and Whitfield. I have recently moved on from Paxton and Whitfield. I'm now working at the world's first cheese conveyor belt restaurant, so still very much in cheese. But yeah, looking forward to trying some ace cheeses today, I hope.
Hero,
Yes, yeah, I'm Perry from Rennet and Ryan. We're based in Cambridge. Also have a shop newly, in the last 6 months in Stamford, where you can come see all our cheese. I'm mainly known for winning Britain's first ever Raffineur of the Year competition and then winning again the week after. And I very much look forward to going to the world's first conveyor belt of cheese and seeing Hero do a thing there.
Great, thanks guys. So today the judges will be rating the cheeses, giving them marks on 4 key attributes, and that is appearance, aroma, texture and flavour. And flavour is double weighted, so you get more points for a flavour. So we're going to go through these fresh cheeses, and we're going to start with 1081.
Great. Okay.
Oh.
So, appearance-wise, we've got a very sort of, I guess, fluffy. How would you describe the appearance of that? It kind of looks like a little bit, almost sort of scrambled, but also kind of fluffy.
Yeah, like cloud-like, like sort of more like a less wetter, like feta kind of thing, but more not uniform in shape, I suppose.
Yeah.
Seems good.
It's quite compacted in the pot that it's come in, but it does fluff up quite considerably, actually, and is more sort of separate grains of curd than rather one sort of cohesive paste, I guess.
Yes, looks like it's been, sort of really sort of broken up. So yeah, and then the colouring, it's kind of not pure white. It's got a little bit of kind of ivory in colour to it, which is quite interesting. Once you break it up, the curd, the bits of the curd seems very consistent. I think it looks good. So I will go around about 6 for me.
Yeah, I think it's a 6 for me as well.
Okay.
Aroma. It's almost like a sort of shortbread dough kind of aroma to it, just like quite buttery.
Yeah. Quite like vibrant, which you would expect from a younger cheese, that kind of yogurt kind of element that's in there as well. Really pleasant, very subtle, no complexity, nothing too crazy, but what you would expect from this cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing untoward. It's not, incredibly powerful aroma, but it's pleasant. Maybe a 7.
Yep, 7. Good.
Okay.
I'll be very interested to understand the texture of this, because the physical properties being so fluffy is so interesting.
Yeah.
It's quite granulated.
Yeah. It becomes very quite bitty, doesn't it? Which maybe you would expect from that style of cheese. But it lingers quite a bit, doesn't it? That granulation, it doesn't break down, which is maybe how it should be. Not finding it particularly amazing.
It's quite difficult to understand how you would
Its application.
Yeah, how you'd use this, because it feels like in a cheesecake maybe it's not quite going to be smooth enough that maybe that texture might work against it unless it was maybe heated.
Yeah, it feels fairly like to me. I mean, I'm macerating it up, so it may be a bit. I'm getting larger chunks of curd that are like lingering, smaller that are dissipating, and then kind of that mouthfeel afterwards becomes very kind of like paper mache almost. It feels like on my. I'm around about sort of a 6 on the mouthfeel.
Yeah,
I don't
I agree. I think the variation in the kind of sizes of the pieces of curd is makes it difficult. I think a 6 is probably about where I'm at too.
Yeah. And then flavour, I don't think there's anything particularly unpleasant about it. I think it's just really subtle, just as you expect, the citrus, lemony kind of area, Greek yogurt, set sour, that kind of yeah. And then that lasts for a good degree of time, which I would also probably put around about 6 as well.
Yeah, it's not overly acidic.
Yeah.
It stops short of bitterness. Like it goes a little way, but then it does stop short of being like actually bitter, which I think sometimes cheese in this style kind of go over the edge in terms of acidity or bitterness, but this one doesn't. I think, yeah, a 6 probably for me. I'm not sort of dying to get hold of it again necessarily, but it's pleasant, it's balanced.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. And the next one is E31114.
Okay. Oh, sorry, wrong one. That's me. I had the label upside down. I was like, yours looks different from mine. Cool.
Yeah, so we've got a solid block of ivory paste here. It seems very even. It hasn't disintegrated in the packaging, so the packaging's obviously protected it pretty well in terms of its shape. Yeah. Appearance-wise, I don't see any issues with this. It looks like it's been well packaged, well protected, not aged particularly. There's not a huge amount to go off here because it's a white square.
Yeah. If anything, really brilliant white color. You know, there is there's kind of no differentiation between that. I quite like when you cut it open because obviously the packaging has squished it a little bit, so you can't really to get much from it. But when you actually look inside, it looks kind of like from this distance, kind of like moussey and a little bit, looks nice and consistent. 6.5.
Sure. Aroma very, very faint.
Yeah, extremely faint.
A little bit of sort of briny sort of but very difficult to get much on the aroma there. Is the packaging any more revealing?
That's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, briny, little bit of lemon, but really subtle, watered down, which I don't, think is dissimilar from this, feta kind of like style. Maybe with more barrel aging, you get a little bit more, sometimes a little bit more animal, I kind of find, but it's very, very subtle. I think I would nothing particularly unpleasant, but just nothing particularly going on, to be honest. So I'll put it as a neutral 5.
Sure. Yeah, okay. I feel like 5, I don't know, maybe is a little ungenerous just because, as you say, this style you wouldn't expect. It's not intended to have an aroma that it's fallen short of. It just that there isn't really a great deal to go on.
Yeah. Okay.
I think a 5 might suggest that there's something bad in the aroma.
Okay, if that's what you think, then I think probably we should go up near 6, so it's a good, rather than an okay. Okay.
Texture wise, it sort of tears into quite nice. It sort of has like quite a nice texture as you get into it.
Yeah, it's
but with a bit of structure to the curd.
very yeah, it's very together for a, you know, what at first thought was a feta style. It's not as breakable. It's quite claggy on the texture, which I don't mind actually. I think that's creates quite a lot of interest in it.
And mouthfeel wise, it's very, very smooth. There's nothing grainy or sandy to it.
It's quite pleasant actually, the mouthfeel.
It sort of clings, but not in a bad way. Like it's got a very spreadable texture, I'd imagine.
It's just got a really nice like paste kind of like texture to it, which I think is quite different for this style, and I actually quite like it. Maybe I'll go like 7.5 or 8.
Yeah, I think an 8.
Yeah, cool.
Texture. Right. Now, flavor wise, I mean, if you were expecting a feta, it definitely is not a feta style. I think we've definitely there's nowhere near the salt content.
It's more got that sort of water, mineral, acidic vibrancy to it.
Like chalky flavor.
I think it's quite nice. I could see the application of it being quite different. Yeah.
I found it quite moorish as well. Subtle. It's always difficult sometimes judging really subtle flavors in awards like this. But the balance is good. There's a nice, did you say minerality, like a sort of vegetable-y, spinachy kind of minerality to it?
Yeah. It's all very, very subtle, like you said, so it makes it really difficult, but I think it's really, really pleasant. I think you said that it would be, you know, moorish, you kind of keep on eating it because it doesn't feel like it overloads your palate too much, like overwhelms it. It's nice, and it's not subtle enough not to care about it. It will make some form of impact if we, you know, did lose in a salad or whatever it may be. So yeah, maybe I'm towards like once again a 7.5 or an 8 on this one.
Yeah, no, I'd be very happy to see this get a 7.5 or an 8.
Okay.
Which one?
Let's go 8.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right, and then we were supposed to have E1142, but I don't think you've got that sample, have you?
I have it.
I have it. Yes.
I don't know why that's saving out then. So yeah, E1142.
Very cool. See a nice little pool of whey in the
Yeah, so I'm just gonna see. Oh, I'm not sure if I'll be able to retrieve it. This says come in a little pot, which is definitely necessary because otherwise it will fall apart. But I'm going to see if I can just scoop that onto my board.
Oh, it's very delicate.
Yeah, like a sort of jellied or like gelatinous kind of texture, isn't there?
Very interesting, isn't it? It's got that kind of like wobble to it, almost like a God, what do you call it? Like a dessert-like quality. It's almost like, you know, a cheese junket, isn't it? Really.
And we both reached for a teaspoon instantly.
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? Yeah.
Like we're gonna have panna cotta.
Yeah. Yes.
Appearance-wise, yeah, I think I quite like that sort of tremulous kind of appearance. It kind of and you can see the little drainage, like the little holes on the top where it's been in the drainage vessel, which I actually quite like. Yeah, it's quite charming.
Yeah, and it looks like how it feels, very delicate, like, you know, that you pick it up and it's sort of, it's like just a really soft, you know, gentle cheese. Yeah, I quite like its appearance actually. I think I'm around about like sort of 7.5 on it.
Yeah, I was thinking 8, but 7.5 I think is good for this. It, you know, there's not a huge amount of evidence in front of us, but yeah, 7.5 sounds good. And then aroma, I'm gonna have to move the cheese because I think the cheese won't move to me.
I like the aroma, just like reminds me of visiting a cheesemaker and making cheese.
Yeah, totally. It smells like someone's dairy.
Yeah, totally. Which is interesting that you can box that up, you know, and send it to someone. Apart from that, there's not much, you know, the aroma is very much, you know, a cheese making dairy. I'm
like
not picking up on much else.
Whey smell.
Yeah. But
6.
I think that's quite pleasant, the cleanness of it, you know.
Like a 6, 7-ish.
Yeah, I think a 6.
Yep, great. Then texture, I think, is going to be really important for this, isn't it?
That texture is very, very cool, I think.
Mm.
So delicate
Mm.
and like so fragile. Mm.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. It's like clotted and gelatinous at the same time, just holding itself together, really.
Yeah, it's like it seems really pure, like from the like the visual of it, the aroma. It seems like really like a pure cheese. And I think I really, really like it. It's a nice directional change.
Have we sorry, done the mark for texture already? I think we're going quite high for texture, aren't we?
Oh, we haven't done that yet. Do
Yeah.
you know what? I think I might be in 9 territory for texture.
I
I don't
agree.
know why. It's really like connecting with me. I like how different it is, and I just like how subtle it is and how, you know, yeah, I'm into it.
So 9 for texture, and then flavor. Subtle, but it's balanced. I think it has a nice amount of salt to it, which I wasn't expecting when I saw it. I thought it might be a little restrained, but I think the salting is just perfect.
I'm totally into that salt and vinegar vibe that it has, you know, like that kind of, you know, yeah, and there's something like equally pure about that as well. So I think it all marries up together really nicely.
Yep.
Yeah, I do actually really like it. I think I might, for fresh cheese category, be maybe on 9 on flavour as well.
Yeah. No, I'd be very happy to see this get a 9.
Yeah. And I will continue to eat this, you know, for the remainder of the day. Delicious.
So that was the 3 cheeses in that class, and that one that you've just had was the winner.
Yeah.
And then the one beforehand was second, and then the first one was third.
Yeah,
yeah.
that works.
Great. So we're going to end this class. So thank you so much, judges, for your insightful commentary and lovely descriptive words. And for everyone else, make sure that you come back to see these winners of these classes in our category final, which was going to be on the 14th of May. It'll be live on Facebook and YouTube. And then we're also going to do the Supreme Judging on the following day on the 15th with lots of lovely cheese chats from Nigel Barden. So thanks very much, guys.